This week is spring break in Polk County, so what do good dads do? They spend time with their children. And that's what Dad was doing this afternoon. He had his 9-year-old son, his 12-year-old son, and his 10-year-old nephew, which obviously is a cousin to his two boys. And they put the boat in order to fish and swim. So after a period of time, this is Lake Roy. The boys wanted to go swimming, so he moved to the middle of the lake where they jumped into the lake. The water was very rough. The winds are gusting today up to 30 miles an hour. And immediately the kids had difficulty swimming. He was able to get his 9-year-old son and his 10-year-old nephew, grab them and pull them into the boat. His 12-year-old son was drifting further and further away, or the boat was drifting further and further away from his 12-year-old son, Noah Gomez. So he jumped into the water, put Noah on his back, and was doing his best to swim back to the boat that was drifting away from him. Noah slipped off of his dad's back into the water, into about 18 or 19 feet of water. In the meantime, one of the children dialed 911 from the boat, and immediately Winter Haven Police and Winter Haven Fire Rescue responded to the scene. They're dispatched also on our frequencies, and of course deputies responded to the scene with Polk County Fire Rescue as well. It was all hands on deck. We were doing the very best that we could to try to find Noah, but unfortunately he had already slipped underneath the water. Our dive team, as it would be, was out training today, so they had a remarkable response. We have a specialty unit with a lot of high-tech equipment. We put all of that in the water very rapidly. Noah unfortunately succumbed to drowning. However, because of this high-tech equipment, in less than 2 hours, we were able to locate Noah in the bottom of the lake. Our hearts break, because Dad was doing what dads should do, spend time with their children. And he was doing that because good dads do that. And unfortunately, as a result of today, his son drowned, and his 9-year-old brother is now without a brother, and his 10-year-old nephew and cousin has also lost a cousin. So it's just a sad situation. You pretty well know exactly what we know. When we brought Noah to shore, the family's request was that they could see him one last time before he left the lake shore. And we made sure with our chaplains and our deputies and Winter Haven police officers that we made that last wish happen. Are there any questions?
Is this a local family? Have they spent a lot of time in the lake?
They're from Winter Haven, from the Polk County area, so they're not strangers to the area or strangers to the lake. Apparently they mentioned to one of my detectives that they were in a spring swimming last weekend. All of the boys swim very well, and it wasn't an issue that they didn't know how to swim.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of times a lesson in this. Were they wearing life jackets?
They were not wearing life jackets. And obviously they got into the water to swim without life jackets. But once again, you know, young men don't wear life jackets when they swim. And this is just an unfortunate tragedy. We can sit back in Monday morning quarterback what we shoulda, woulda, coulda. But the reality of it is that there was no malice here. He was trying to spend time with his children. They planned to fish and swim, and unfortunately it didn't work out very well.
And as we head into the warmer months,
Potentially safer than swimming in the Gulf, but can you talk about the conditions out there today and as a warning to others?
Sure. The wind speed is between 18 and 20 miles an hour, plus it's gusting up to 30 miles an hour. In fact, our aviation launched really in weather that they're not supposed to, because it was, as it was reported to us, at a 10-year-old child. Now we know he's a 12-year-old child. And we wanted to put every resource we could in this lake. And that's what the Winter Haven Police did. county fire rescue, Winter Haven Fire, and of course our deputies and our dive team and our Marine support. But we couldn't help, and it's sad. That's not the way we wanted it to end, obviously. So, but we do the best we can, and then it's the good Lord's in the good Lord's hands at that point.
As we head into the warmer months, what's your best advice to parents for just water safety and boating safety?
Sure, the best advice is we're coming into the summer months, and that's what Florida is all about, is water and fun. You know, follow the rules. Follow the rules. Make sure, you know, that there's an age at which children don't have to wear life vests in boats. But I tell folks there's never a good time not to wear a life vest in a boat. And certainly if we were watching the evening news broadcasts, they would tell us that there's small craft warnings today. And you need to pay attention to the weather reports. And if the weather's rough, you don't go out in small crafts. But once again, this man was trying to spend quality time with his children. And unlike us who see death and every day, you know, certainly he thought swimming in the lake next to the boat would be fine. Unfortunately, it turned out tragic.